It's one of the most common questions that unhappy lawyers ask me. What if I regret leaving the law? And I get it. I had that same question. To step from something known, even if you're miserable, to something that's totally unknown is legitimately scary. Today, I'm sharing what you need to know if you are worried that you will regret leaving the law. Hi, I'm Sarah Cottrell, and I help unhappy lawyers ditch their soul-sucking jobs so that they can trade lawyering for a better life. On this channel, I share what you need to know if you are an unhappy lawyer who wants to identify an alternative career and get out. Here's the first thing that I want you to think about if you're worried that you will regret leaving the law. Are you really worried that you will regret it? Seriously. So often we as lawyers think that we need to protect ourselves by thinking of all of the worst case scenarios that could come from our decisions. So before you do anything else, genuinely ask yourself, do I actually think it's likely that I will regret leaving the law? Second, I want you to recognize how much of your concern that you might regret leaving the law is actually concern that other people are going to think that you've made a bad decision. And often those are people that you don't actually like. As lawyers, we want to believe that there's one objective, one size fits all answer to every question. In a certain sense, it feels safe to believe that there's only one thing that we should be doing that is the right thing for us to be doing in terms of our career. I'm not saying that it's easy to let go of the fear of what other people will think, but you really want to make sure that your real concern when you are thinking about whether you're going to regret leaving the law is not wondering whether other people are going to think that you should regret leaving the law. Third, let's imagine that you do leave the law and you do genuinely regret it. I can't even name someone for who that is true, but let's imagine it. My question is, so what? Seriously, so what? While we're wired to avoid negative emotions like regret, trying to avoid regret is a losing battle. If you don't leave the law because you fear that you're going to regret it, ultimately you're probably signing up for just a different type of regret that you stayed in the law and felt stuck. And you're already experiencing negative emotions about your career right now. So the real question you want to ask yourself is, what type of negative emotions am I willing to experience? And more importantly, if you leave the law and you regret it, you're not stuck. You changed your mind and you can change it again. You will have options and you can do other things, even returning to practicing law if that's what you decide is best for you. Often, I find that the concern of what if I regret it is really a mask for a bigger challenge, which is I don't know what I would do if I left. If that's you, hit the subscribe button because I release videos every week designed to help lawyers like you figure out what their next step is. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great week.